to be honest, if you asked me 10 years ago if I would be working in the creative world, I probably would have had an idea, but I don't think I would have been able to convincingly say to you, yes, absolutely. Anyway, this is a video about me, and I just wanted to give you a bit of a history as to how I got into this, how I got into creating videos, how I got into photography, just how I got into my passion for the creative world. My name is Tim Batchelder and I have a company, Tim Batch, and I'm a freelance filmmaker and photographer. I love content producing, and that is content across the board for any client, shape or form. I absolutely love being given a project and being asked to create content for a client, either to sell a product, tell a story as to who they are. That is where I come alive. But the question is, how on earth did I get into this world of creativity? So I was born in Johannesburg in South Africa in 1990, 30 years ago, and I am a huge South African fan. I obviously grew up there. You can pick it up in the accent that I am a South African. Yes, I am living here now in the UK, but I spent my entire growing up life in South Africa. Growing up, I was very privileged. I had incredible parents, 3 older sisters, and I was really raised in an amazing home. And I was given amazing opportunities. I got to travel. I got to experience amazing parts of South Africa, and I got to experience incredible parts of Europe growing up. But how did I get into photography? How did I get into this creative world? Well, I'm glad you are asking the question. And growing up, my dad had a camera. It was kind of the family camera, I guess, that we would take on holidays, that we would take photos at home. But my first experience, or kind of exposure on an ongoing basis, was with my gran. She used to come to lunch and she used to bring along her little Kodak point and shoot film camera. And I remember being fascinated by what a camera can do, the process behind a camera, how you press a button onto a piece of film and suddenly you go and develop this picture, and suddenly you've got a physical hard copy of an image that was taken of you. And this got me thinking and got me interested. And it wasn't long. My gran gave me the camera, didn't give it to me to keep, but gave it to me to start taking photos. And yes, my first photos that I took on it were probably horrendous. I would still love to see those photos, but I don't think we would be able to find them. But it was at the young age of, I would say, 7 or 8 years old, I got hold of my parents' camera, and I remember being obsessed with macro photography. So I was taking photos of grass, taking photos of flowers, but not flower as a whole, taking a picture of a petal within the flower, bees landing on flowers. There was just this obsession or interest that I had in something up close. And so my first memories of taking photos were of things up close. Then I would take photos of family, I would take photos of the house, of the dog, of the cat, quite literally anything possible I would take photos. And so my career started in photography, my interest in photography. I loved watching movies, films, out of entertainment, not really thinking, wow, maybe I could do that one day. But towards kind of early high school days, I really started to get into photography. I never really thought anything of it, to be honest. I thought I was just going to be a hobbyist photographer, working a normal job and having an interest in photography. But skipping on a couple years, we used to do trips to Kruger National Park, which is an amazing safari park in South Africa, filled with incredible wildlife. And again, my interest in photography went to wildlife, and man, photography really takes you places, and I think that's what I love so much about it. And when I left high school, obviously I went to go study a degree in marketing, and it was at university where I turned 21, and for my 21st birthday, I got a Nikon D5-100. At the time, it was the best thing ever. Obviously, it was my own personal camera that I was given from my amazing family, and it came with 2 kit lenses, an 18-55, and I think it was a 70-200 or something like that. Anyway, it was a great lens, and I remember just taking photos of absolutely everything. I'll probably flash a couple images up on the screen, me learning to use this camera, and if I look back at these photos, they were absolutely horrendous. At the time, I thought they were spot on, but it was those years, those formative years of learning to take photos, learning composition, learning about exposure, that something started to happen deep inside of me where I was like, actually, this might become something that I might do in life going forward. I finished my degree in Cape Town. I was hired by a content marketing agency back in Durban in KZN in South Africa, and it was an amazing opportunity. I had a friend working there at the time, and I got involved. I threw myself at it, and basically what we did was we went out and shot content, and then we used that content to market various companies on social media platforms. Now, I was hired as one of the social media people to create posts, not as one to take photographs, but having shot with my friend Andy at the time, obviously there was an understanding that I could shoot photos, that I was getting into video, and actually I could do both. I lasted at this company for, 6 to 8 months, something like that, and I remember getting frustrated. There was this passion inside of me where I wanted to take photos, I wanted to shoot video, and social media wasn't really my thing, still isn't really my thing. I'm not very good at it, but I knew what was my thing, and that was taking photos and shooting video. And so I resigned and I entered into the freelance world, and this was in 2015, I think, towards the end of 2015, that I got into the freelance world. I joined my local church, and not long after that I was asked to photograph a church conference that we used to put on once a year in the beginning of the year. It was a vision conference. It was called 133, and I remember being asked to photograph this the first year. The second year, I actually had started working at the church. I became a youth pastor. I was working at the church while running my freelance business. Slowly but surely, I was both running youth, and then my creativity just was exploding at the time, shooting loads for myself, and had done a wedding, had done a couple small freelance jobs, and I was realizing, actually, this is what I want to do. And so Rich, my pastor at the time, gave me an opportunity to lead and take over the creative department of the church. And so I managed social media, I took photos, I shot video, I managed everything creative, I managed our website, and that is where my creativity exploded. I'm very grateful for 3 very formative years there where I was able to experiment a load and be able to make mistakes and to produce really cool stuff that I'm still to this day fairly proud of, and some content that I probably am not very proud of, but it was an amazing space for me to learn. And it was at the end of 2019 where I went to Rich and I said to him, I'm feeling frustrated, I'm feeling like I've stopped growing. And he saw it in me, and he breathed life into me, and he encouraged me to step out and to get into the freelance world full time. It was at this time that I met my beautiful, beautiful wife, who she is today, Justine, and I resigned, got engaged within 6 months, and a couple months later we were married. And from that decision to this point today, I am now a freelance content producer, and I'm just so grateful for the opportunity to do what I do. And there have been times and in particular the last 18 months with COVID-19, where I've wanted to give up. It's been a very tricky time. It's been a tricky time for the entire world, and so I've really had to zoom out and gain perspective, because not being busy, not earning a lot of money has been hard. It's been tough, but I'm so grateful for a supportive wife, for a supportive family, and for a very faithful God. I'm a Christian, and it is by the grace of Jesus that we have been able to move here to the UK, to be able to live in this home, to have an incredible cat that travels everywhere with us. He has blessed us beyond measure, and I know that if I wasn't called into the creative space, I would have given up long ago. I would have sold my camera gear, and I would probably be working an office job. But here I am at home filming this because I am passionate about what I do. And so I just wanted to make this to give you a background as to how I got into this, and an encouragement to other potential filmmakers, to other creatives, to other freelancers, not sure about what the next step is. That is okay. I don't know what my next step is, but what I do want to encourage you with is you have got a gift. You've got an ability to be able to tell stories, to capture moments in film, in photography, whatever that is. I want to encourage you to keep going. I'm saying this to myself, and I want to say it to you to keep going, because we have an amazing gift and an amazing skill that is valuable in this world. I just wanted to make this and to express to you to keep going. Thank you to all of those who have supported me in my journey, and I want to encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, to follow me on the social media platforms, because I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up on my passion. I'm not giving up on what I've been called to do, and I really look forward to continuing to produce good content. I will talk to you guys soon, and thank you so much for watching.